Hi, I'm James and thanks for tuning in to Ebuyer. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at this Nitro 50 gaming PC from Acer alongside a Nitro gaming keyboard and Nitro gaming mouse. It's well and truly Nitro time here at Ebuyer HQ. Let's do this. Let's start things off by looking at the peripherals, specifically the mouse to begin with. This Nitro mouse has a 4000 dpi optical sensor with a cool few features and design cues up its sleeve. It's got a feature called Burst Fire, which allows you to shoot multiple shots with a single click. Now that's cool and will really help you to get the edge over your gaming competition. Let's go ahead and unbox the mouse and kind of see how it suits my hand grip, see kind of, what gaming features it's got that mean you should go ahead and pick it up. The first thing I'm noticing is a really nice included braided cable. This is actually quite important for a mouse, as the more you use it about and play with it in games, the more strain the cable's going to get. So super durable, always a bonus. You'll then see we've got this nice glossy plastic on either side of the mouse, with some RGB cues as well, something I'm a massive fan of. And then you'll see this red and black Acer Nitro styling. The plastic that's actually used for the left and right click is a soft touch matte plastic. It looks great and feels awesome to the touch. You'll find forward and back buttons on the left hand side, alongside a button for your aim and of course that burst fire feature, and then DPI adjustment just below the mouse scroll wheel, allowing you to make the mouse more or less sensitive to get the perfect aim in some of your favourite titles out there. All in all, the mouse feels really quite nice. The Acer styling cues are really solid and it feels great in the hand. For prolonged gaming sessions with this support here for your thumb is always a massive bonus. That's the mouse covered off though. Let's hope the keyboard impresses just as much. This is the Acer Nitro keyboard and straight away from the box you can see it sharing some of the same design cues. A black and red gaming aesthetic look great, and RGB fills the keyboard, which is something, as I say, I'm a massive fan of. Let's go ahead and unbox our keyboard and kind of see what we're working with. The keyboard clearly then shares some nice similarities with the mouse, with a mix of glossy and matte design materials and these really soft keycaps that feel very similar to the left and right click buttons on the Nitro gaming mouse. That makes these potentially a great pairing for a full Acer setup. You can also see that the colour-matched colourway of the W, A, S and D keys and the mouse accents shows a real attention to detail from Acer, while the font face on the keys is gamery but clear and easy to read. An integrated wrist rest and anti-ghosting make this great for gaming, and the keys, while not mechanical, feel great. If you look around the rear of the keyboard, you'll find some feet which allow you to raise the keyboard up to a slightly raised typing position. Something which for me is definitely a bonus and just helps on the ergonomic side of things. Something that's really interesting about this keyboard is that the included braided cable, which you saw with the mouse earlier, is actually offset to my right hand side. This should make cable management that little bit easier, and also means that the cable for your keyboard is on the same side as the cable for your mouse, just keeping things neat, tidy and nicely out of the way. That's our Acer Nitro peripherals though. What about if you want a full Acer Nitro gaming setup? Well, don't worry, Acer have got you covered off with their Nitro 50 gaming desktop. Now this gaming desktop features a Core i5 CPU, so plenty powerful enough for even the latest AAA titles, alongside a GTX 1660 Super. This is a pretty powerful GPU for gaming at 1080p in 2021 and beyond, while 8GB of RAM, a fast 256GB SSD and a 1TB hard drive create a really balanced spec. Let's go ahead and unbox the Nitro 50 and see what we're working with. This Nitro desktop is actually a lot smaller than I thought it would be. That's because the box is filled with plenty of packaging material to make sure it arrives in one piece. I really like the design though. This is a fully proprietary Acer case design, which is always a great touch. With, as I say, the latest GeForce graphics included as standard, and a really nice I/O. You can see here we've got a USB 3 Type A port, a USB 3 Type C port, as well as a headphone and mic jack, and that's just the easy access I/O. If we spin the computer around, you'll find a full suite of connections at the back of the system to make sure you're nicely covered off. From your graphics connections with the GTX 1660 Super in this system, to the audio outputs, USB, Ethernet, and then a further 4 USB ports. That allows for plenty of connectivity straight out of the box on this Acer Nitro 50 gaming desktop. Once again, the Nitro design cues are really nice, with this Nitro text, and of course red inserts on our I/O. It really is the little things sometimes that make a massive difference. Let's go ahead actually and boot the system up, plug it up to a monitor, and then try this machine out with some of the biggest titles out there right now. And of course we can use our Acer Nitro peripherals to power it all up. Lovely stuff. So the first game I want to try out on the Acer Nitro 50 is a little bit of Dirt 5. Now this is one of the biggest racing games around right now, and it's a really great game to test any PC with. That's because it's got an inbuilt benchmarking mode, but more on that in a second. First, let's take a look at some of the settings we've got. So head over to Profile, head over to Settings, and then Video Options. This is going to give us all of our different video settings, so you can see we're running at native settings for the resolution, and then medium and high settings across the board, more high than medium. Let's jump out of this and then click Benchmark. This is going to run a pre-made race, but rendering it on the system, giving us a really easy, repeatable result. So much so that if you guys wanted to try out this benchmark at home, you could do, and then compare it to the Acer Nitro 50. Now, for any game really, we want to be getting around about 60 FPS. Racing games we can afford to go a bit lower, but we're still in the region here of 75 frames per second. That means it's super smooth and is actually going above the refresh rate of the monitor, which is always what we're after. This is going to give us a really smooth playing experience and give us esports level frame rates, despite the fact that we're only in a racing game where FPS is intrinsically a little bit less important. You can see here as well we've got good usage of the VRAM, 59%, with 100% GPU usage, meaning there's no power being left to waste. Sitting once again in the region of 65 to 75 frames per second. No screen tearing, nothing of that variety, everything feels smooth and pretty damn good if you ask me. And with that, that just about wraps it up for our first look at the Nitro 50 gaming desktop, the Nitro 50 gaming keyboard, and the Nitro 50 gaming mouse. If you enjoyed this video, a like rating would be much appreciated. Thank you very much for tuning in to Ebuyer though, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.